pro players need to be back playing, especially the peripheral players, the young players that are first year pros, second year pros. They need to be playing regular rugby or they would go stir crazy. The example of Jeff Cross last season, who was released to play for Hawick, and in the end of the season he was playing for Hawick in the league games and he ended up going to Argentina with Scotland. I'd have loved to have seen him getting capped, but that's just, that's what he needed. If Jeff hadn't had that regular playing for a club side like Hawick, he would never have had that opportunity. So, I'm all for the professionals coming back into the game. I think how they've done it's been a lot fairer this year, with a draft system, and you got to pick depending on where you were in the leagues, and it's worked out well for some and not so well for others. It was a bit of a free-for-all in the end because you were left and you didn't have a lot of time to decide who you were actually taking. You're right in what you say. Only the guys that are first and second year pros will play for the clubs. The others, like say your Chris Patterson's, I'll never. Let's be realistic. He's not going to pull on a white jersey, much as he would love to. I know that, but he's not going to do it. But the reason I picked the likes of Chris and Dan Parks is because they're good ambassadors of the game, and I know that they'll come down and they'll help the younger boys. If I can get Dan Parks to come down for 1 or 2 sessions and help Rory Hutton with his tactical kicking, that's worth its weight in gold. It's better than Dan actually playing for us. We've got Matt Mustian as well. I mean, the guys we hope that will get regulars, maybe Matt Day from Heriots, who's was a Heriots player, but he's at Edinburgh and he was on the periphery of the pro contract of getting into the Edinburgh side. So hopefully we'll get a lot of game time out of him and maybe a bit out of OP because he's living at Gala. But same again, I picked the guys mainly because I thought those type of players would come down and they'll help the youngsters, and that's what it's all about. Let's be realistic. We're not going to get Chris and Dan and Matt Mustian and them turning out for us week on week out, and it just wouldn't happen. But I think it's a good move as long as everything's done and it's adhered to and the protocols kept, i.e. that when players have been sent, that they actually play for the club they've been sent to, and there's no mysterious injuries crop up, or there's I can't be bothered to play this week. I think it's got to be done to the letter of the law, and then I think everybody will benefit from it. And as long as there's not too big a gap between the amount of players it's allowed to play in professional, I think 1 or 2 at the most, but any more than a differential of 2, and I think you're up against it. If one team's got, even if one team's got 2 pro players and another's got none, if they're in key positions, they'll make a huge difference to the game, because they should be, and they normally are, head and shoulders above everybody else in the park.